Hi lovelies, I'm Ariel and this is Maven Unmasked and welcome to your weekly reading for February 27th through March 5th of 2017. Happy birthday to all of you Pisces out there. I hope everyone had a lovely new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces on the 26th. So many planets in the sign of Pisces right now. The energy is like crazy and swirling, and some of us are really sleepy and dreamy but having trouble sleeping. Some of us have been really restless and kind of angry, and our emotions have been off kilter. So lots of just weird energy going on at this time. I think that's why Spirit gave us the message last week that keeping your chakra centers clear, open, balanced, making sure you're grounded and shielded has just been of real importance this past week, and will carry definitely over into this week, I feel. A few quick announcements. If you'd like to get a reading with me, please check out my website, mavenunmasked.com, or you can also get a reading with me at my Etsy shop on March 9th. If you're in the DC, Maryland, or Virginia area, in Columbia, Maryland, I will be hosting a Building Energetic Boundaries workshop. So learning about grounding and shielding, learning about crystals you can use, spiritual protection, all of cleansing, all of those kinds of things. So I would love to see you there. That is on March 9th. So you can find the event link on my Facebook page, the Maven Unmasked Facebook page. I will also leave a link below. If you are a newsletter subscriber, the newsletter will be out Sunday, March 5th at 9 a.m. Please make sure to add me to your address book. It should come from mail@mavenunmasked.com, the email. If you're a Gmail subscriber, please make sure to check your promotions folder because they tend to end up there. Check your spam, all of that. So I want to make sure you guys get the awesome newsletter. This month we will be talking about symbolism of luck and abundance from around the world. We'll be covering Goddess in my Goddess Corner, who will relate with the theme. We'll have our crystal, we'll have our spirit animal for the month. So super excited for that. Be sure to stay tuned or sign up for my newsletter. I will leave a link below. You can also sign up on the Maven Unmasked website. Okay. This week, for our weekly reading, I will be using the Tarot Apocalypse, which I just love so much. It gives such fabulous readings. I feel like we need something a little stronger, with a little more punch this week, a little more clear and practical as Tarot Apocalypse can be, especially with all this dreamy, floaty, kind of la 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 Piscean energy floating around. But in honor of that, I will also be pulling a card from the Oracle of the Mermaids. I normally work with this in the summer, but I just feel this time of year, Pisces season, is the time to break it out and use it. Okay. It's like the Tarot Apocalypse is fire, and Oracle of the Mermaids is definitely water. So we're going to try and balance these energies here on Maven Unmasked. All right, so I'm just going to ask everyone to take a deep breath with me in through your nose and out through your mouth. And settle in, let go of the stuff from the day, relax. And as we enter the world of spirit, we call in your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones in spirit to bring us a message for our best and highest good for the week ahead, the week of February 27th through March 5th of 2017. What will be the energy surrounding us? What do we need to do? What do we need to work on? Any advice that can be had for this month, or not this month, this week? What is the most important message for all of those who are watching, whenever they watch this video? Thank you. Oh, thank you. Alrighty. Ooh, and the shadow card this week is the Five of Swords. Five of Swords. So typically the Five of Swords is kind of about knowing when to walk away. It's also about kind of being egotistical or boastful, or very chatty about all you can do and all that you've done, and really putting your skill set out there, but maybe not in the most tactful way, maybe in a way that kind of ruffles others' feathers. So just be mindful this week that people are very sensitive right now. Not saying to sugarcoat yourself in the sense that you can't speak your truth and be authentic, but just be mindful of how you do so. And is it something that needs to be shared right now? When this person may be like going through something, you can kind of pick up on that. Is it something that should be saved for another time, or saved for a private conversation if others are around? Or maybe there's something that you kind of need to kind of bite your tongue and check, hey, is this ego? Where is this coming from? Is this judgment? Trying to understand what somebody else is going through, putting yourself in their shoes. And I also feel like this is a message that words can hurt and words can cut. So just be mindful of your communication. Some of us may be spewing a lot of word vomit. Some of us may cry and be, super emotional on the drop of a dime, just pouring our emotions and our feelings out there. So just be mindful to how you do so, and to have boundaries kind of around that. And are the people you're kind of spilling your guts to and venting to, are they kind of trustworthy people, or will they use your hardships or what you're going through against you so that they can take the forefront? I just feel like that may be important for some of you, not all of you, but definitely some of you this week. And are the others that you're with, are they really out for your best interest or for their own? But it definitely feels like this also has to do with not only our communication, but our mental realm. So maybe this is about us and the ideas and things that we're coming out with. Maybe in our minds, we're like, oh, you're not good enough, or oh, no this, or oh, no that, or somebody else has such esteem and that I don't have, so I can't do it yet because I don't have this paper, or whatever it is. I just feel like that energy. So be mindful of it. Okay, moving on. So the next card we have this week, and the first in our spread, is the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is about living in luxury, wishes and beautiful things coming true, like the genie, anything that you wish, enjoying the fruits, not necessarily of your labor, maybe the fruits of somebody else's labor. It feels like emotional fulfillment from the luxurious things around you, or even from luxurious relationships around you. You want this feeling of opulence this week. It may be surrounding us. Be mindful to not be lazy this week, even though it's definitely that relaxed kind of energy. Be mindful to... it kind of feels like servant energy. So try not to... make others your servant this week. Be mindful of how you ask for somebody to do something. Don't feel like you're entitled to something. That I feel like there's a need to say, remember that there's other people around you. The world doesn't revolve around you. It's not all about you, especially we have that Five of Swords kind of energy still floating in the background. But it also feels like knowing your self-worth too. The Five of Swords is also about knowing when to walk away from a situation, if to letting somebody else take the front seat and saying, okay, knowing when a situation is kind of not serving you, and to kind of let them have their thing, and just you kind of just exit stage left, or just take a few steps back from that, and knowing your self-worth, that you don't have to accept somebody else's like nasty comments or conversations or thoughts, even if that person is yourself. Knowing your own worth. The next card we have this week is the Ace of Pentacles. So a new seed, a new beginning, maybe for some of us even a new job or career, a new opportunity, a new financial opportunity to kind of bring about this, this sense of luxury that we're looking for. For those of you who are looking for employment or career opportunities, stay hopeful. Stay hopeful. For those of you who maybe a new idea, a new seed has been planted, maybe a new endeavor, new creative things, a new level in your education, maybe even. But it definitely feels more like money, career, home stuff. To stay hopeful, to keep wishing and dreaming, to not give up on those things. It also feels like whatever this new beginning, this new chapter, this new seed coming in will be very healing for you, and allow you to move on into new ventures, new plans. It also feels like this week is going to have a lot to do with our spirituality, our sense of purity, our sense of cleansing. I also feel like a sense of sacrifice as well for some of us, especially as the new moon, the new moon solar eclipse in Pisces is about endings and beginnings. So we don't really have any cards of endings here, but definitely about beginnings. And the reason I say sacrifice is because this card has lilies on it, and to me, lilies are also about sacrifice. So sacrifice and purity, walking with grace and with love this week, being really mindful of that, being a beacon in the darkness to other people, being a beacon in the darkness to yourself this week as well, and having hope in your dreams, having hope even though you may not know exactly which way you want to go. Maybe there's a lot of options out there. Maybe this, for some of you single people out there, maybe there's some relationship options out there and you're not sure, do I like this one? Do I like that one? To be open, and also to be aware again of knowing when to walk away so somebody else doesn't get hurt. Be mindful of the words you use and how you go about doing things. To not be too boastful or too egotistical this week. Definitely feeling like keeping the ego in check. Even though there are great opportunities arising, great birth happening, regeneration happening, germination happening. But don't be afraid to play a little. Don't be afraid to dream a little. Dreams are going to be big this week. I say that because the Seven of Cups is also a card for me about dreams. Especially when it's accompanied, with the Star and the Knight of Cups. Be mindful of the intentions that you set this week. This week, again, we're just coming off of the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So it is the time for major manifesting, great manifesting, the fruits of which you'll see in 6 months to a year after the date of the eclipse. But really putting your dreams out there, really not being afraid to explore them and to not allow stagnation to happen because you don't know which thing to kind of go after. Take things one at a time. Don't be afraid to take a step back. Don't be afraid to let somebody else kind of take the reins, and just be mindful with all this emotional upheaval it feels like some of us are having, to just express yourself with tact, to express yourself with dignity and integrity, to not let things bubble up and just spew over, to not take our anger and our frustrations out on somebody else, to stay positive and hopeful for our dreams, our wishes, and our intentions, even if things are kind of foggy right now. But things are going to pick up the pace. Things are going to start getting a bit steamy for some of us in what we're working on, not necessarily romantically, but it can be, but also in terms of our career and our relationships and our spiritual development, our emotions. Things are going to get kind of steamy, kind of heated, kind of passionate. So just to be mindful of that. So let's get our oracle card. What do the mermaids have to say about this? We do have 2 cups cards, which is perfect. We do have that pentacles card as well. So this is definitely a very feminine energy filled week. Receptive energy filled week. Okay, the first one, we have 2. Okay, the first one is Imrama, Wonder Voyage, Crossing Deep Waters, Pilgrimage, Journey of the Soul. So remember I told you she's got the little ship down here on the star card. So we're moving, we're dreaming, we're going places. digging deeper within ourselves, not being afraid to dream. I definitely feel like spirit is going to be communicating with us again through our dreams. Be mindful of the messages you get in your dreams. We are in a powerful time of transition, again, a time of endings and beginnings. We're journeying to the next level, to the next step, to the next chapter. And to remember to embrace your sense of play, to still have as much fun as you can on this voyage. To not allow fear of the unknown to keep you bound and keep you trapped, to not let fear of being uncertain and where to go, to not allow fear of not being able to see where you're going, because sometimes you may be out at sea and it's a foggy night and you can't see clearly, but you have to follow your own inner compass and trust that you're sailing in the proper direction. And then the next card we have is the return of Aphrodite. Temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, treating as sacred. So remember, I told you lots of feminine and receptive energy this week. Be mindful to the guidance that you receive. I feel like our intuition, our psychic ability, again, our dreams are going to be heightened this week. They may be more vivid, and not even just this week, but definitely for Pisces season. I also love how we have the return of Aphrodite, and Venus will be going retrograde on March 4th. And Aphrodite is about love. Venus is about love, the return. So retrograde, the return. So some of us, our relationships maybe shaken up a little bit, or a new chapter, a new journey, deepening the journey on the relationship. For some of us, it may be knowing, again, that knowing when to walk away when something has completed it's time. But know that this is a peaceful time, even though energy is kind of like, the universe wants you to know, Aphrodite wants you to know that more love and more peace is going to be coming in. We just have to be open and receptive to it. Definitely working with rose quartz this week, I feel like will be very helpful, as well as any watery stone. So moonstone, very watery, very flowy, very with the intuition. Aquamarine also I feel like would be great to work with this week as well. And chrysocolla or chrysocolla, however you want to say it, that's definitely a very goddess energy stone, a very feminine stone. So if you want to use that to kind of connect this week. But that is it for me. If you'd like to get a reading with me, please check out the mavenunmasked.com site and go to book a reading. You can also do so on Etsy. I hope to see some of you all at my workshop on March 9th. I have some other ones coming up the 12th and the 29th of March as well. I hope you have a lovely end to your February, a happy new moon, solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and a wonderful start to your March. But I'm Ariel, and this has been Maven Unmasked. Have a great week, lovelies. Bye. Bye, guys.